Okay, now I'm about to make decrees on President Donald Trump and his administration. Now, for those of you who are not aware of who I am and why I am about to make declarations over myself, this nation, and different individuals in which Yahweh had me to intercede for, as well as President Donald Trump again and his administration, I'm making these decrees simply because I have been given the assignment Queen of the South according to Luke chapter 11 verse 31 and according to Revelations chapter 12, basically describing a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And so this is the last sign that has already been confirmed in the heavenly September 23rd, 2017, with the alignment of the stars displaying Virgo and the Virgin. The Holy Spirit revealed that is Michael Jackson and me, Debbie Jones, respectively. We both, as the Holy Spirit has disclosed, are the descendants of the tribe of Judah. And as Oprah Winfrey declared in her journals that she sent to me, for this public demonstration, we are soulmates. We are one publicly before you, the people of this nation, confirming and clearing each other's name, sharing our own individual experiences, bringing clarity on the reality of the Ghost Men and Women Alliance, the walking living dead dwelling amongst the human race. So indeed, this confirmation is significant. It is a work that Yahweh foreordained before the foundation of the world. And it is significant because we have never met each other, never spoken to each other. And this is a progressive work because I've already declared to you, sharing my experiences. And I also shared how I was able to identify that Michael Jackson went through similar experiences. They were all around Michael Jackson. And as a result of the Walking Living Dead Alliance, engaging Michael Jackson's private space in his business, he had to basically kill his public life, shut it down. And so I was able to it's like we were soulmates. As Oprah Winfrey has already declared in her journals, I was able to identify being one with him on his experiences. At the initiation of this public event, as I walked out my assignment, the Holy Spirit labeled this work in which I am administrating, I quote, the last movement. And then later on, he added the public demonstration of witchcraft, revealing that the road in which I had been traveling upon would indeed become darker. It had become darker, and progressively, it got darker and darker. As my name went public, due to my engagement with the affairs of the church and the Trinity Broadcast Network, I was waiting upon the Lord for a television package deal basically offered by Oprah Winfrey. However, the late Paul Crouch at that time had a hand in holding back and actually delaying this opportunity. And little did I know, rather than the church celebrating with me as my name went public, little did I know the churches, along with the TBN network, they were performing witchcraft against this movement, against this work of the Holy Spirit. And at that time, I wasn't aware. I was just taking one day at a time. As I blindfoldedly proceeded through this work, Again, the Holy Spirit added the title, I quote, public demonstration of witchcraft. And it was around this moment in which the Holy Spirit revealed that Oprah Winfrey, as a result of divination, she knew more about my calling than I understood. And so at that time, I found out that she was really confronting the woman in the wilderness. She was confronting me, trying to abort this movement. And she came to me deceptively, offering a TV deal package. That was actually what was going on. And so at that moment in time, the Holy Spirit disclosed to me that indeed Oprah, she was an enemy, along with Dr. Creflo A. Dollar. And basically they became enemies because of the walking living dead, because of their sorcery powers controlling them. This is how they operate. And so because of the walking living dead, because of their powers being over the human race, Oprah Winfrey and Creflo A. Dollar had no way of avoid being used by the dead. As sure as they were public, they couldn't avoid the power. Their powers are over the human race who burn candles and incense unauthorized. And so they could not avoid being used. And so the walking living dead, they were the catalyst of this narrative to be as such. That is the fight, the spiritual warfare that I engaged with Oprah Winfrey and Creflo A. Dollar. So at this time, I want to let you know before I continue into my story that as I engaged in spiritual warfare and proceeded walking this journey, July 2014, unbeknown to the world, they didn't let the world know. That's why it's a public demonstration of witchcraft. We're going through deception because of those in authority burning to the gods. You are deceived. Oprah Winfrey and Creflo A. Dollar, they both died. But I want to continue to tell you my story. And so I just want to let you know at this point, they died. Okay? But at any rate, the walking living dead, they were the catalyst of us experiencing this narrative. We being enemies. All right? So the Holy Spirit, he conveyed to me back then, revealing the fact that the white walking living dead people in the church, they did not want Creflo A. Dollar and me to join forces in ministry. Now at that time, again, I want you to understand, I didn't know. I wasn't aware even of the dead being in the church. Now, before the public demonstration, before I knew it would be a public demonstration, and before I knew my name would go to another level, he did introduce to me, showing me that the dead was in the church. I'm not going to go into details about that because I have that story posted. Go to Divine Intervention, my website, and you'll find that story posted. But that's all I knew. And then after my name went public, he brought that story back to me. He said he let me know that he was going to basically teach me about, what we're dealing with as it relates to the walking living dead. Because that was a long time ago, before the public demonstration actually manifested in my life. I didn't know it was going to be a public demonstration, but it was during the public demonstration that he brought this lesson up about the walking living dead, introducing to me people in the church. So at this time, I wasn't aware that we had walking living dead people in the church, but they were responsible for Creflo A. Dollar, working against me and they did not want us to join forces in ministry, so they put spells on him as well as on Oprah, provoking them to basically to be obstructive, in their behavior towards me, in order to prevent me to fulfill my assignment, which is to cast down the dragon. That's the significant call that I have on my life, Queen of the South. And so they were using Oprah Winfrey and Creflo Dollar as shoulder witches to prevent me from walking out my call. And so as a result of them confronting me in the wilderness, Yahweh had to take up my baby, which is the birth of the authentic Jesus Christ, my ministry, for the time that I had to remain in the wilderness, because I was being confronted by the dragon using Oprah Winfrey and Creflo Dollar. That's at the initiation, along with the TBN network. Are you following me? So, the walking living dead, these are the people that the Bible declares over in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32. These people, they are not a people. They look like me and you, but they are not a people. But they are familiar spirits. And they can appear as ghosts, as an apparition, right? You've heard of people seeing apparitions, ghosts. But what we haven't known is that they are able to appear in human form. So these people, they are not a people. They can appear as an apparition, familiar spirits, and they've gone back to being an animal. All right, this is what the Holy Spirit has given me a lesson on as I've been progressively going through this public demonstration of witchcraft. I never wanted to believe that we were ever animals, but before you came here as a human, you were some type of animal, and several different animals at one time, leading to another time, just throughout your journey here on earth. And so these people go back to being an animal, so they can transform into being an animal, back to being a human, appearing invisible. They can walk through your walls. That's if you are burning to the gods. If you're illegal burning candles and incense, they can walk into your house. Invisible. You will be unable to see them, but they can see you. And then they can appear right before you. They can play games with you. They can follow you. Because if you burn candles illegally, you have a familiar spirit. So they can follow you. They can come out in your presence. But if you're a true Christian, then as a result of following Jesus Christ, you're able to receive the Holy Spirit. And so you have the Holy Spirit and not a familiar spirit. And so these dead people, they cannot come into a Christian, a real believer, their presence. And so, yes, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 declares that these people are not a people. And over in the book of Daniel chapter 2, he described them as being iron, saying, the walking living dead, in other words, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave to the seed of man, even as iron. They are described as being iron, even as iron is not mixed with clay. That's that's Daniel chapter 2, verse 43. So right now, I know the world, you're being stopped in your tracks, hearing about the walking living dead. That's to be expected. Oprah Winfrey, she prophesied that in the journals. The world's going to stop in their tracks. So as you come upon this information, I know that it can be overwhelming. You're being stopped in your tracks. But I recommend you to just take it easy. breathe in the breath of life and exhale the darkness, because now Yahweh is increasing your awareness. Okay? And so breathe in the breath of life. Only Yahweh can give you the breath of life, and exhale all the darkness and just flow and receive what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to you right now. So I want to share with you Matthew chapter 13:35. It says that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, and I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. So this is a secret that has been kept from the foundation of the world. As I have been maneuvering through this work of the Holy Spirit entitled The Last Movement and Public Demonstration of Witchcraft, Yahweh is responsible for releasing this secret at this time of the walking living dead. So this is a secret. Only those who are part of the kingdom of darkness, they've always known, but they have never revealed that secret to the human race. And so they've basically deceived the nations. All right? And so it is a secret, because often, we look at television, the movies, and you see a story about one or two dead people coming back to life. But we're not talking about just one or two people, but you got walking, living dead people all over the world. And they're walking and they're mingling amongst the living. And so many of these people, as a result of burning candles and incense over a long period of time and burning a lot of candles, the more candles you burn, the more defiled you become. And at some point, walking in their own bodies, these people, they can awaken and wake up familiar spirits. All right? In their sleep, they died and they wake up and they're the walking living dead. And basically they're getting this experience because they made a decree over the fire saying, I want to live forever. And so the familiar spirits take them out and they wake up ghosts. And when they wake up ghosts, they're not telling their loved ones, I'm a ghost. And so this has been going on since the foundation of the world. Are you following me? And I want to let you know that these people can only be discerned by the Holy Spirit. And so this is my assignment, and this is what Yahweh has been doing through my ministry. He's been calling out strategic individuals in Hollywood, but you got these people all over the earth. In your families, if they're burning to the gods, some of these people, they're coming back dead. They're waking up out of, from their sleep, and they're the walking living dead. And then you got some people, they have an out-of-body experience. They actually died, had a funeral, and they're coming back out of the bottomless pit. Yahweh revealing that there's a lot of activity going on in graveyards. That's why you don't want to go to a graveyard. People coming back and they're entering into caskets, stealing bodies. And then they come back amongst us walking as if they're a people like us, as if they're a part of the human race. So I just want you to understand, this is the secret that Yahweh is revealing. A secret he has kept from the foundation of the world, and he's releasing it right now in these last days.